What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about some roster changes for MPL. So we'll go by each team and then I'll talk about them for each member that got changed, for the members that stayed and all that stuff, and what I think about the roster changes. Alright, so let's start with Brandy Sports. There's not a lot of roster changing that happened with Brandy Sports except for the Nationals, where they actually put in Colleen, which is a girl, right? So this is the first co-ed Mlbb team that's played in like a big tournament, alright? Which is, Nationals is pretty big. The franchises need to pay for their spots and their slots and pick a team to represent their, you know, their franchise. So it's actually a really big deal for Bren to put a female on their team. And she actually played the first game and they ended up winning against, was it Team Payaman? So that was really good. That was really good. But their roster looks like this. They still have Carl, arguably probably like the faker of Mobile Legends. He's still the best core in the world right now, probably. Flop, really good off lane still. They have Ribo, who's really flexible, multi-role. Could be support, could be tank, and could be an off lane. They have Few, who could be like a core as well and could be a mage support. So he's also very flexible. They have Lusty, who didn't play in the Nationals. So I don't know what's going on with Lusty right now, but I know he's from Isabela, and we all know what happened to Isabela after the typhoon. So hopefully his family is safe, and plus he's safe, and his house is safe and all that. Hopefully they didn't get flooded. So yeah, stay safe after the typhoon, guys. EJ is still in the team, but I don't know if he's gonna be still a 6-man, because instead of Lusty being on the lineup, it was EJ that was in the lineup. So he's still more of an analyst and he guides the team on the back end. Alright, so there's Coco as well. Alright, Coco started playing in the Nationals and he actually did really well. His X-Borg did really good against Team Payaman. Coco's sanity is what they said when he was playing. So but the problem with Coco when he was in Bren, when he played before he got out of the lineup, was his hero pool. He didn't have a lot of hero pool compared to the other Bren players. Of course, they're more flexible, whereas Coco is like, you could literally count his heroes that he could play. Tamos, X-Borg is like the heroes that he mostly could play, and then the other heroes are marksmen, which, I mean, I guess you could use marksmen in the current meta, especially in the gold lane. But still, from what I've noticed on MPL PH meta, they don't really put marksman on the gold lane. Only a couple teams do it, alright? But it's possible if they put Coco on the lineup. Alright, next team, we have Smart Omega. So I don't think there's anything that changed with Smart Omega. It's still the same. They still have Haji, the second best core in MPL PH. Toshi, off lane, right there. Pretty flexible as well, could play marksman. Curtizi, really good mechanically, super talented, off lane. Hayes, we all know Hayes, he's really flexible as well. He plays solid tank, he plays mage support. He's been playing assassin supports lately with Selena and Natalia, so that's really good. He's not afraid to try out other heroes. There's Heath, who's Mr. Fundamental, right? So he plays fighter tanks, but I feel like Heath is kind of lacking on hero pool still. So he needs to work on that before the next MPL season starts, I would say. Kenji's still in the team. I'm not really sure why they don't put Kenji in the starting lineup, because I still think Kenji is a very valuable asset for Smart Omega. Alright, and then for the Nationals, they have Coach Tony, or why not? Alright, it's just Tony backwards. So this guy used to be a Dota 2 player, and I mean, he used to be in Geek Fam for Mlbb, but now he's taking more of a role of like an analyst or coach, I think, for Smart Omega. That's what it's looking like for Smart Omega. Alright, let's move on to the next team. We have Execration. Okay, we have Kelra, who's a rookie for Execration. After Benny Cutie and Hate left, they had to pick up new players, new rookies that people really haven't heard before. They're not too popular. So Kelra is from Teamwork, by the way, who's really, Teamwork is a squad that's really close to Onyx, and they're an amateur team pretty much, and they're actually really good. They got really close to getting to the main qualifiers for MPL Season 6, so he picked them up from there. Execration picked them up from there. They still have Sagitnu. So Sagitnu is an offlane. They have another new rookie. I don't know who this guy is, but apparently his name is HTeam21. I don't know if that's his actual name. But yeah, if you guys have information on the other new rookie for Execration, comment that below in the comment section, alright? They still have Etomax, which is the captain of the team. He's pretty much the shot caller, so they need him. they need a shot caller for the team. It's very, very important to have a shot caller. But I feel like Etomax is kind of in the middle grounds in terms of mage support. He's not the best and he's not the worst. He's kind of in the middle, you know. They have Chaknu, arguably one of the best tanks in MPL right now. He's very valuable for Team Execration. And Zapnu, most likely, since Zapnu's acting more of like an ambassador for Execration rather than a player, honestly. So I don't know if he's gonna play next season. I don't see it. I feel like he's an ambassador. Alright, but yeah, let's move on to the next team. We have Onyx, alright? So Onyx, they got 2 new players, okay? 3 new players actually, so. Kyrie, which is from Blacklist, the freaking prodigy. He's like 14 years old, or he's actually 15 now. He has a lot of talent, alright? So he has a lot to offer for Onyx. Good job for Onyx for picking him up. I'm not sure why Kyrie asked for a trade, honestly. Because he asked for a trade from Blacklist to Onyx. It was his own decision. Maybe it was because Edward was gonna get moved out or something like that. I'm not sure, but he asked for the trade. Apparently, according to Blacklist, their statement, the Blacklist statement. All right, Iaknu still one of the best offlaners. Dilar probably the best offlaner in MPL PH right now. And Onyx actually picked up Hate from Execration, and a lot of people are still bashing Hate for the move he did. But then again, now Onyx gave a contract to Hate, so now he can't go to any other team. Whereas Execration, they didn't give Hate a contract at all. So he has the right and the freedom to move to another team without a contract. It's kind of like the NBA, so I don't know why people are getting mad at this guy. Like, he didn't do anything wrong, but then again, yeah, it is kind of like, I don't know, like in terms of friendship, you might ruin your friendship with, you know, Chaknu, Zapnu, and all that. But from what I've seen on social media, Zapnu and Chaknu, they're disappointed with Hate's decision, but they still respect it, alright? Which is super, super good. That's what we want to see. And then the fans are always the one that's really toxic and they hate on Hate. So that's kind of ironic. So they still have Jay as their main tank, and they have Marky, who's also from Teamwork, alright? Same team as Kelra, but I'm not really sure what Marky's role is. And same with Kelra, I don't know his role. So I need to do more research. Hopefully I see them in future tournaments before MPL Season 7. But yeah, Basic is out. He's gonna move out. He's gonna move back to the US to reset his visa, alright? Because you can only stay in the US for a year. If you stay more than a year without having dual citizenship, you're gonna get taxed and you're gonna pay more. That's why he has to go back, alright? He's probably gonna play with Hoon or something. I don't know, but right now he is gonna go back to the US, if you're wondering where Basic is. Alright, let's move on to the next team. Actually, going back to Onyx, sorry about that. Going back to Onyx, the problem that I see for this team is they lost their shot caller. They don't have Venus anymore. Venus is so important, is an important part of the team. But when Venus left and when Hate left, because they're a duo, they're like a package. You cannot like remove one or the other. They gotta be together on one team. It's gonna be a big hit on Onyx. They have more talent with Kyrie in there, fresh talent at least, but without the shot caller, man, it's gonna be game changing. I don't know. I feel like it's really risky for Onyx to do this. Yeah, they don't have a floor general now, commanding the map and all that, looking at the map and telling other members what to do. Alright, Jay could probably do it since he has a lot of experience, but it's not gonna be as effective as Venus. Alright, so moving on to the next team, we have ROPH, we have Hades. Alright, so that's gonna be really good. So he's one of the cores that are really underrated, and he's super mechanically insane. And yeah, he's really underrated, but he's one of the he could probably be top 3 core if he had good teammates. Alright, I'm not saying his previous teammates were bad, it's just that they didn't mesh well, I guess. That's why they lost to the first round of the playoffs, but he's really good. Hades is really fucking good. Alright, so that's a good pickup from Aura, actually. Benny Cutie, also a good pickup from Aura. Again, Execration had a choice. Do we keep Hate or do we keep Benny? But they ended up taking out Benny, and then Hate left as well because he didn't have a contract. I just don't understand Execration at all, because they're a professional team in Dota too, so they've been in this business for a long time. Why don't players have contract? It's kind of... Alright, hopefully not to offend Execration if they're watching this. It's kind of stupid if you're not giving your players contract. It's like you're not taking them seriously. You're not putting a commitment to your players. You gotta show them you want him, right? So, Benny Cutie, we all know how flexible he is. He can play marksman, fighter on the side lane, and even mages. So, Benicute is a good pickup as well, along with Kilowash. I don't know, it's like a 50-50 between Dilar and Kilowash for the best offlaner in MPLPH. So it's like a, you know, back and forth. They're both really good. Greed, arguably the best support mechanically. He still might need some work decision making wise sometimes, but yeah, he's probably the most talented support in MPLPH. Whereas if you compare him to Few's more disciplined, I would say, and he controls the map a lot better. He's more of a utility support for Few, and Greed is really aggressive, right? Kind of goes with his name, honestly, but he makes plays when he needs to, so that's really good. Reflesh is still there, and JP. I'm actually very surprised that they kill VJ. They didn't kick, okay. Let's just say release, that's a better word. They released kill VJ instead of JP. Well, for me at least, alright, just my own opinion, I think it would have been better to keep kill VJ and then remove JP. Or, because JP's too busy with his family. He needs to have time with his wife and his baby. So he doesn't have as much time to, you know, grind and play the game as much. Whereas kill VJ, he's still young. He still has a lot of improvement that he could make, right? So you can invest the longevity of the player. They could have thought of it a lot better. Renzio was 6-man, so it wasn't that big of a deal for Renzio being released. But kill VJ, I think they should have kept kill VJ, for me at least. All right, just my own opinion. All right, for the next team we have NXP. Next play. So this is like your favorite team, people's favorite teams. They have H2O still, arguably one of the best cores in MPLPH as well. Still not on the same level as Haji or Carl, but definitely getting there. He's really fucking good. Renegade, I thought Renegade was gonna switch to NXP Salty, but he stayed to NXP Solid, so he's still an offlaner. James, that's a new pickup for NXP. I don't really have a lot of information about James, but he got picked up. So over Edward, by the way, over Edward. Edward wanted to switch from Blacklist to NXP, but they picked James instead. But then again, it's not a contract. They didn't give any contract to Edward, so this is kind of like the same situation for Hate, but instead of the player not not getting the contract, it's the team that's not giving the contract, so they don't have any commitments. So they picked James instead, you know what I mean? So Exort used to be a pro player back in season 5 or 4. So he's a veteran, you could say. I forgot what team he played for. Was it SGD? I think it was SGD. Yeah, and Yahweh, still one of the best tanks. It's just that the chemistry is not there for NXP right now. And for NXP, they don't have a 6-man yet from, well, according to the sources that I know at least. I don't know who their 6-man is gonna be. But I think MB and Chester is out. So a lot of people hated Chester because he was playing very inconsistent. Well, he was playing consistent, but he was playing consistently bad the whole season. And a lot of people were bashing him because he was the captain of the team. He was the main support. So he was being out of position a lot of times. So he got released, I guess you could say. Released. I don't know. But yeah, that's the lineup or roster for NXP. I got nothing else to say because NXP's roster changes, they have like 4 fucking teams in the boot camp. I don't understand. So I don't like bother keeping track of the roster changes they make. This could change, by the way, because the Nationals, you know, the Nationals for the roster for the Nationals is, you know, you could pick one lineup, but for MPLPH Season 7, you could still change it before it happens, right? So this is not the finalized roster for Season 7, by the way. This is just what they have right now. Alright, so let's talk about Blacklist. Alright, so this is where Wise and Venus, the duo, came in. So they came from Onyx to Blacklist. What I like about this is the Venus and Bonchon combo, right? Because Venus, we all know that Venus is a floor general, really good at shot calling. The problem with Venus is hero pool. Not a lot of hero pool. Venus could literally get targeted by drafters really easily if they really wanted to be honest, and Venus will struggle in trying to pick a consistent, you know, support that Venus could keep using. They have Killer still for off lane. They put Killer during the playoffs. He did okay, honestly. He did okay. Not the best performance, but he did what he needed to do. He did his job. Aqua is still there for offlaning. Esson is still the tank. Dexter is still there. But I saw something, like I saw a post with Dexter where I think he's either gonna 6-man or coach or be an analyst, right? Something like that. Because it was like Kawhi Leonard with Greg Popovich, so that's like giving a hint of him being like an analyst or coach, right? Most likely a coach as a 6-man. And apparently, according to Midnight, Edward is still in the team, even though NXP didn't end up signing Edward. So Edward was kind of bummed about that. I saw his Twitter post, and he was kind of like depressed. I don't know. Let's just call it depressed, since he wanted to move to NXP, but they didn't want him, or they didn't accept him. I'm not sure how to word it out, but that's how it is. It at the end of the day, it's business is business, man. It's esports, so that's how it's gonna be. All right, let's move on to Cignal. So this is the last team. They have Janus. I think Janus used to be a pro player as well. I just don't. He's not that. His name is not that big, but he used to be a pro player from, according to the sources that I see at least. Chujin is still in the lineup. Ray is still there as an offlaner. DJ is still there. We all know DJ is very versatile with his support, and he's probably the most popular in Cignal Ultra's team. Bensanity is still there, and Dare is still there. All right, DER, not Dare, is still there. That's his name, DER, Dare. All right, so I don't know who Dare is, but I don't have any information about him. But he's in the Nationals lineup. I also don't know what role Janus plays. So if you guys know these players, comment down below what you know about them, and maybe I'll check them out in the Nationals for sure and see how they play, and I'll start to analyze more Nationals games. Like for example, the Bren versus Team Payaman game for the first day of Nationals. I'll probably do that for the next video. All right, because Colleen ended up playing, so that's the first co-ed roster that actually ended up winning a series. So that was pretty cool, right? They had one female on their team, and then the rest were boys, and they did really well against Happy Feet Emperors, right? So yeah, that's it for the roster changes so far. If I have any other news about these roster changes, I'll definitely let you guys know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Hit the notification bell for more updates on MPL roster changes. Tell me what you guys think about these roster changes, which ones you like, which roster is looking good, which roster is looking weak, and all that. All right, whatever, just as long as it's on the same topic. All right, and that will be it for the video today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I am out. Peace.